Hi, I'm Saverio from HoRNet Plugins, and this time I want to show you the latest feature of our ELM 128. This plugin is an EBU compliant meter. That means that it measures the loudness units of your tracks. Loudness units is a new kind of measurement for loudness that takes into consideration the human ear. In fact, before evaluating the loudness, a special filter is applied to compensate for different hearing levels of low frequencies and high frequencies by us humans. And with this meter, you have all the standard function of metering, like the momentary loudness measurement, the short term, the integrated, the loudness range, that are all specified by the standard. But we also added a normalization feature that may help you to maintain your desired level across program changes. This normalization in fact works every time. It's not something that reads a maximum peak and stays there, but continuously listen to the sound, and if the measured level drifts too much from your target, then the gain is adjusted in a natural way to bring back that sound to your target. This normalization works both on the short-term measurement and the integrated measurement. Why this difference? Because when you have fast-changing programs, you probably want to use the short-term to keep everything to around the same level, sacrificing some dynamics because, of course, evaluating the loudness every 3 seconds. With the short-term, you have faster loudness changes. So when you have stuff that have loud and soft passages, the soft passages are often increased by volume, and the loudest one are lowered by the algorithm. If you want to maintain this dynamic, if you have some movies or classical piece and so on, you have to use the integrated, that is much slower because it considers the loudness from the beginning of the recording, and so it doesn't changes that level too much, even if the normalization is active. In this case, the gain is recalculated only if the integrated level drifts more than 2 dBs from the actual one. So not much more talking, and I'll show you how the plugin works with a couple of examples. Here we have our plugin. We have the momentary loudness here, and it's a relative scale from version 1.2.0 onward, because you can set your reference point. Once you have set this point here, now by default it's at -23, that it's the recommended value by the EBU standard, and you have the 0 set at this level. So if you read +3, you are actually reading -20. Of course, you can change this if you want to target, for example, YouTube. You have to put -16 here, but I stick with 23 because it's the standard. And on the right, you find all the other readings: the short-term loudness, the integrated loudness, the dynamic range, and the true peak in dBs. Once you press reset, everything comes back to 0. This is the normalization button, as I told you before, and you can choose between short-term and integrated. For this stuff, I'm going to use an example. I will use the short-term first and then show you the difference with the integrated. Now I have these 2 tracks here that are completely different in loudness, as you can see. We'll try to match them and see if we can keep them at -23. So I'll first play the first one. As you can see, we had a couple of moments where the gain changed and the normalization algorithm reacted to that change and decreased the gain to match our desired level. And if I try the other track, you'll see that the gain will change very drastically because it's much more louder.
Il canto primitivo che dice.
As you can see in this track, the gain changes more naturally because it's a completely different kind of track, and nevertheless it's kept around this level when we ask to do it. And now I'll show you the difference with the integrated that may work across the whole track, maintaining the difference between the loudest and the softer passages. Now I reset and I use the first track as a test. It's clear that this kind of algorithm is more conservative and allows you to maintain almost intact the original dynamic range, sacrificing the speed of reaction. So if you have sudden changes, this algorithm change much slower than the first one. So of course you have to decide which one is the best for your case. HoRNet ELM 128 is available for download on HoRNetPlugins.com. You can go there and download it. We don't have a demo for that plugin because it's a meter, but we offer 100% money back guarantee. So feel free to try it out and let us know if you like it. Thank you very much for watching.